For the first game on the slate today, we have the Detroit Pistons against the Indiana Pacers. Sekou Doumbouya, Blake Griffin, D. Rose, and Tim Frazier are out for Detroit. Miles Turner and possibly Jeremy Lamb are out for the Pacers. These two teams are very, very evenly matched in every way. They play sort of the same pace, and philosophies are definitely similar. They are both coming off a win, but in games like this, I tend to lean towards the home team, and in this case, I believe the numbers indicated that. So the Pacers probably going to win this matchup, and the numbers that I came up with are 109 to 108 Indianapolis. So you can definitely see that there's definitely injuries out there for the Detroit Pistons. That's going to hurt. These guys are out of the game. They're not going to play. And I think that's what's going to catapult Indianapolis to this win. The numbers indicated, like I said, that it was 109 to 108. I think personally it'll be worse than that, but I have to go by the numbers. I'm a person, I don't go by guessing and any of that nature. I put certain numbers and certain factors and stats together and create an analytic that can determine who wins the game and a potential score. So 109 to 108, Indianapolis will win this game. For the next game on the slate, we have Memphis Grizzlies versus the Orlando Magic. Grayson Allen will still be out for the Grizz. Tyus Jones is a day-to-day. Terrence Ross and Melvin Frazier are both game-time decisions for the Magic. Magic have lost 4 in a row, and Memphis is coming off a much-needed victory. This game will be a total mismatch in styles. One team wants to play 100 miles per hour, and the other team wants to slow it down completely. This one all depends on who forces their will on the other team. Memphis is a young team with a young point guard, and I expect them to make too many mistakes. Orlando will slow it down and capitalize on those mistakes, winning this game 110 to 106. This game is going to be something that, if the Magic play their game, they'll be able to stifle this young team. Ja Morant is a very exciting player, very exciting point guard, and I think that there are big things on the horizon for him. But in a game like this, when you're playing a team that is very, very controlled, it is tough to get into that style that he wants to play. If he does get into that style he wants to play, it could be trouble for Orlando. But Orlando is at home, the crowd will be behind them, and I feel that they'll be able to keep their composure and play their style. So 110 to 106, Orlando win this game. The next game of the day will be Cleveland versus Washington. Now, Cleveland is coming into the game on a 3-game skid, and Washington lost its last game. These are two really bad basketball teams right here. I mean, terrible, just horrible basketball teams. And unfortunately, they are evenly bad. They're just evenly matched, and this game is the hardest game to pick of the day. Neither team has an advantage either way. If I had to lean a certain way, it would be Cleveland slightly edging out the Wizards, 123 to 122. Now, this was weird because when I came up with the analytics and all the stats and crunched all the numbers together, this game ended up 122 to 122. But the numbers slightly leaned to Cleveland. This is a toss-up. You can throw this thing in the air. This might go to overtime. This might do all kinds of things in this game to figure out who's going to win this game. But if the numbers slightly, and I mean slim, lean towards Cleveland. So we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens in this game myself. The next game on the slate will be the Atlanta Hawks versus the Sacramento Kings. Harry Giles is out for the Kings. Allen Crabbe, Chandler Parsons, Evan Turner are all out for the Hawks. Cam Reddish is a game-time decision for the Hawks. Both are coming off losses in their last games. They are pretty even in this matchup. One team just plays better defense than the other, and Trae Young is the best player in this game, so I expect them to win basically because he will eventually take over at some point during the game. Atlanta should win this game late, 112 to 107. Now this game was pretty cut and dry. You know, they're in it. I believe they're in Atlanta right now, so Atlanta has the home court advantage, and they normally play very, very well at home. Sacramento is a young team. Normally, young teams do not play well on the road. It's just something that young teams do not do, and the numbers definitely indicated that the Hawks would eventually take control at some point during this game. Trae Young should have a monster game in this one, and it should be fun to watch. The next game of the day will be Toronto against New Orleans. Now, Patrick McCaw is going to be out for the Raptors. Lonzo Ball and JJ Redick are both game time decisions for tonight. Toronto is coming off a win, and New Orleans has lost its last two. Toronto is a very weird team, everybody. They can play both styles very well. They can run and gun it, or they can slow it down and play that little methodical, we're going to try to get a bucket any way we can in the offense type of offense. New Orleans is all run and gun and offense. They play absolutely no defense at all. None. They're giving up a zillion points a game. This should be a really, really fun game to watch it though, but Toronto will beat them in a quarter very, very badly and cruise to a win. 115-103. Score that I got for this game. Toronto, I mean, it's going to be fun to watch. Brandon Ingram's fun to watch. Siakam's very, very fun to watch. So it'll just come down to a situation where Toronto's just a little bit more polished, a little bit more well-rounded than these boys, and we'll see if Ingram can keep up the great start that he's had to the season. We don't know if Lonzo Ball is going to play or JJ Redick, so that can hurt New Orleans as well. But we'll see what happens in the course of the game. I just think that Toronto has too much. So 115-103 Toronto. That's what the numbers say. The next game on the slate will be Golden State, the Warriors, against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Everybody in the world is out for Golden State. Everybody in the world is out for them. Even D'Angelo Russell is out and will sit out for them tonight. So that's another star on the bench. Golden State is coming off a loss, and Minnesota is on a 2-game slide. Both these teams are playing horrible as of late. Minnesota should win this game easily. They will be playing against a very good D-League squad tonight. Nothing really to be said about this one. Minnesota wins 118-98. The Warriors are just having the worst season, the worst luck that you can possibly have. D'Angelo Russell's going to sit tonight. Clay's already out. Steph's already out. Draymond Green is out. Everybody's freaking out. I don't know. Draymond Green might play tonight, actually. He's not on the list of people that's not playing, but neither was Steph and Clay. I mean, he might be so injured that he's just not even up there on there. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on with the Warriors, but we'll see what happens in this game. I just think they're going to get blown out the water. I think they're going to get blown out the water every night. The analytics never favor them right now. So, I mean, you can sit there and just, oh my goodness. I don't feel bad for them because of that Kevin Durant mess, but you know that's neither here or there. But they're gonna get their behinds slapped tonight, 118-98. The next game on the slate will be the New York Knicks versus the Dallas Mavericks. Dennis Smith and Elfrid Payton are both out for the Knicks tonight. The Knicks have lost 4 games in a row coming into tonight. Dallas has won its last 2. The Knicks completely stink. The Knicks suck. There's no punchline to that. They're terrible in every facet of the game except steals and blocks. This should be a win for the Dallas Mavericks, but the numbers are definitely on the Knicks side in this matchup. They match up well with the Mavs, and if played right, can win. Actually, the numbers say that the Knicks actually will win tonight. 116-114. Despite the Knicks having all the problems that they have, Dennis Smith not playing, just playing absolutely horrible, Luka Doncic playing absolutely out of his mind, Porzingis coming back to play against the Knicks. He's not at home. He's not going to New York, but he's going to be in Dallas, so he's going to be juiced for this matchup. The Knicks still are going to win this game. The Knicks have the numbers in this game. Don't ask me how, but they do. 116 to 114 Knicks. If this happens, then y'all, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's the numbers. That's what I go by. 116, 114 Knicks. The next game on the slate is a great one. We got Philadelphia, the 76ers against the Denver Nuggets. Ben Simmons is out for the game. Gary Harris is a maybe for Denver. Philly is on a 2-game losing streak and Denver is on a 2-game winning streak. Denver is the far more controlled team. They play their way all the time and never are rattled by much at all. Joel Embiid historically plays better without Simmons in the lineup. This, I think, will hold true and continue. Philly will win this matchup 115 to 107. Now, when I say Joel Embiid historically plays better without Ben Simmons, it's because they both like to be in the paint. Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot a three-pointer if you told him he was going to drown if he didn't make one in the game. Like, this dude does not shoot at all. Not yet. But historically, Joel Embiid has better numbers, and he's going to be going up against Nikola Jokic, so he's going against the Joker, and that boy is going to bring the best out of Joel, I think. And I just believe they're going to pull it out, even though they're in Denver, and that's like the hardest place to win because of the mile-high air and all that stuff. I just think that they'll be able to pull it out. This is a really big game for them. Like I said, they're on a 2-game slide after winning the first 5. So this is a very good basketball team in Philly, and we're going to see that tonight. I believe that we're going to see the best of Philadelphia tonight, even though Ben Simmons is not playing. So Philly will win out 115 to 107. The next game of the night will be the Milwaukee Bucks against the Utah Jazz. Dante Exum and Emmanuel Mudiay are still out for Utah. Milwaukee is on a complete roll, winning its last 4. Utah is coming off a win versus Philly. Utah, to me, has the best defense in the league on the interior next to the Los Angeles Lakers. Utah is such a hard place to win basketball games for some reason. People just don't play well there. Your stars have to be stars in Utah to win. Milwaukee has the star of stars, and I believe he will just eke this one out for the Bucks, 109 to 107. Your boy, the Greek Freak, is just tough to handle. There's nobody on Utah that can do anything with him. Yes, when he gets to the basket and you got the Stifle Tower, Rudy Gobert there, it's going to bother him a little bit, or is it? I mean, can you really bother Giannis with anything that you do? I just think that Giannis is on a mission this year. After winning the MVP, he's coming back with another campaign that looks just as dominant. He goes to the basket like no other. There's nobody who can match him. Shaq compared him to himself, and you never hear Shaq say that about anybody, but he's like, Giannis is like how I was. He goes to the basket mean and vicious, and that's what I think we're going to see tonight. So the Milwaukee Bucks will just edge this one out 109 to 107. The next game on the slate will be the Brooklyn Nets versus the Portland Trailblazers. DeAndre Jordan is a maybe for the Nets. Zach Collins and Pau Gasol are out. Portland is on a 3-game slide and needs this game badly to stop the bleeding. The Nets are coming off a win. Problem for Portland is this is a back-to-back for them. The Nets have had plenty of rest, so I expect Portland to jump out early, but the Nets will have too much energy for them in the second half, and that will seal Portland's fate in this game. Brooklyn wins 119 to 108. Now, this is a matchup of point guards. This is a matchup of 2 of the best point guards in the entire league, Damian Lillard and the great Kyrie Irving, who is just a magician with the basketball for real, for real. Now, Brooklyn, not really playing great. Portland, they're not really playing great at all, but this is going to be a fun matchup, man. You got McCollum and Damian Lillard are both just dynamite, and they played well in their last game. But we're going to see a team that's well-rested and rusty at the beginning, and a team that played last night and is real sharp. But as the game goes on, them legs are going to start to get tired for Portland, and Brooklyn is going to just take over. Kyrie's going to just have a field day at the end of the game, and that's what we're going to see. A 119 to 108 victory for the Brooklyn Nets. The last game of the night will be The Miami Heat versus the Los Angeles Lakers in the Staples Center. Who knows who's going to play for Miami tonight? They have a slew of injuries and maybes on the list. Rondo is out, and Avery Bradley is a game-time decision for LA. Miami is coming off a win. LA has won 6 straight games. This is a back-to-back for Miami. The Lakers have had plenty of rest and should be rusty to start the game. Historically, on 3 days rest, LeBron is a slow starter. This could work against the Lakers and the game will be close, even though the numbers largely favor LA. You have to always factor in the rest. Always factor in the rest of the team got. Also, Miami tends to play better in LA than most cities. LA edges them out though, 107-106. This is a game of two teams that are actually playing very well, both of them. So we're going to see something special tonight. I think it's going to be a good game, a great game to end off the day for the NBA. Miami, who knows who's going to play? They have a bunch of people who are listed as game time decisions, so it was really hard to put this game together analytically, but LeBron James normally starts slow in games where he's had a whole bunch of rest, so we're going to have to see what really happens in this game. But they're going to edge him out 107-106, win 7 straight. These my boys. Let's go. Lakers all the way. Laker Nation. I'm a Laker fan. Yesterday on the games, man, if you're wondering how we did, we killed it yesterday. We won every single game. The scores were a little off. I mean, I had 105-103. The Celtics beating the Hornets, I believe. The Spurs game, I had that game being closer than it was, but we had the Spurs winning that game. I had the Heat winning against the Suns, but I believe it was only 1 point or 2 points. So that turned out to be correct as well. And we had the Clippers edging out the Trailblazers last night, and that is what happened late in that game. So we did really, really well last night with the 4 games on the slate. We got 11 games on the card tonight, boy. We got 11 games on the card. So that's going to be a lot of basketball. That was a lot of analytics, a lot of numbers to crunch this morning. And I'm looking forward to seeing just how well we do tonight. A lot of tough calls tonight. A lot of tough calls, man. Looking for that Indiana game, that Indiana-Detroit game to be close, that Memphis-Orlando game to be close, that Cleveland-Washington game is going to be super close. The New York Knicks, I believe, is going to beat the Mavericks. That's going to be something we want to see. Milwaukee-Utah is going to be extra close, and that LA-Miami game is going to be something special to watch. I can't wait to see that game. So everybody stay tuned to the NBA tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope that you support the video, like, subscribe. If you're new, this is something that nobody's doing, that I've seen anybody do any of these the way that I'm doing it. You're not gonna see anything like this, and really putting something special out there for you guys. I want to show y'all that the numbers can tell a story, and it can tell it before the game is even played. So thank you guys. God bless you guys, and enjoy the games, man.